Okay, what's good, nerds? The firestarter, you know, the worst weapon of the update, it got buffed. As of, I actually don't know, as of how long ago. I literally just got back from college, I have no idea. But what better place to test it out than P2? Am I right? Oh, also, Serbs got nerfed, which, good change. And also, you know, ferrymen got nerfed in this update. Virtues got nerfed in this update. I am dead in this update. A lot of things change, and I'm gonna try my best to go over them while playing P2 with nothing but a rocket launcher, which is definitely one of the ideas of all time. It definitely is like one of the ideas of all time. But yeah, so as far as I'm aware from my brief reading of the patch notes, Firestarter, like the damage overall of the thing, has been buffed. Right, like, it's gone from I think a 0.2 damage per tick to 0.5, which is if you didn't know, that is what we like to call a hefty buff. So, can I dodge this? No, okay, that covers the entire room. Yeah, that's fair. I actually can't dodge that, so I guess I've just got to kill... I've got to kill the ferryman before it does that, basically. But yeah, ferrymen, which is, you know, I was just talking about how they got nerfed and it's still this strong. I promise I'm not lying when I said it was nerfed. What the? Okay. I believe the time it takes for its weird little lightning shot that it now just spurts out because it feels like it now. The time it takes has increased from 2 seconds to 5 seconds, which is pretty hefty in terms of a nerf. I'd say like at least like it's pretty big, decently large. A good sized of a buff, enemy nerf. Is that technically a buff to us? But yeah, it's been nerfed. I'm gonna die now because I can't physically dodge. I cannot physically dodge the ferryman in this room. Which is definitely something that I wasn't prepared for. Having just the firestarter means that I actually don't deal enough damage to kill this thing before it launches that attack off. Which means that if you add in the virtues, I don't get to play the game. Oh my god, of course it dies. Right there. But yeah, I mean, this is a significant upgrade from Violent. I'm gonna be honest, right? Throughout all of my playings of P2 on Brutal, this room is like abnormally difficult. Like, no other room in this level is as hard as Serb room now, which I think is a little bit silly. That Serb room of all things, like, you know, fucking Weezer room is the hardest room in the level now. Like, it's honestly not even close. The only room that I have died to on this level post-update is Weezer room. Which I'm sure that's going to change now with doing this update, doing this challenge. That's definitely going to change, but, you know, just saying, it seems a bit odd that Weezer room has been graduated into the hardest room. It's kind of funny. It's very funny, actually. But yeah, I guess that just goes to show, like, how big... Can I even... Get out of here. That just goes to show how big of a buff both Ferrymen and Cerberus has gotten. And keep in mind, both of them got nerfed. and they're still this beefy. So I'd say, yeah, the nerfs are warranted. 100% the nerfs were warranted. Some other things is Jumpstart. Jumpstart got nerfed because of course Jumpstart got nerfed. It really needed the nerf. What did I even die to? Could have been my own fire, right? I'm kinda confused, I have no idea what I died to. Oh well. And there goes the sentry. But yeah, Jumpstart got nerfed, which means beforehand you were able to... You were what was it called? You were able to what did I even die to? Go away. You were able to have like an infinite chain of electricity if you put a bunch of magnets in between enemies. The electricity between them would just kind of keep going, and it wouldn't stop going. Like, ever. Or at least until the magnets ran out of juice. That's when it would stop going. Which, as you can imagine, is a bit powerful. So that has been changed. Which I think is more than fair enough. I think also it's just been like bug fixed a bit. So like no longer can you just... What did I even die to there? No longer can you just like start chaining a bunch of electricity everywhere for like a silly amount of damage. Which is, you know, that's fair, it needed the nerf. One thing that I did see though was actually... What was it for? It was for the... I believe it was for the firestarter. It's already gotten a bit of a rework, where if you launch the gasoline underwater, and then you burn it, instead of burning, because, I mean, come on, that made no sense, it now will explode. Like, your gasoline will explode if you fire it underwater, which I think is a pretty cool change. It's a little bit niche, I suppose, really only being applicable in 5-1, but you know, a buff is a buff, a rework is a rework, it's pretty cool. Speaking of, you know, just speaking of the Firestarter real quick, as I'm using it exclusively to play Brutal Pre-2, a lot of people, when I made the video talking about, you know, my thoughts on the new weapons, why they're a bit strong, why they're not, a lot of people seem to think that oiling up an enemy increases the amount of damage they take. It was either people were saying that the enemies on fire would take extra damage, or the enemies covered in oil would take 50% extra damage. Neither of these are true. These are both completely wrong. I can understand why you would think this, right? Because insurrectionists, you know, it's well known that they take 1.5x fire damage, right? That's well known. Right, they take 1.5x fire damage. Oh no, sorry, they take 1.5x damage while on fire, which is, it's cool. It's definitely cool. It's a cool feature of the insurrectionists. It makes them unique. People seem to think that this applies to all enemies, which I'm just going to tell you now, it doesn't at all. In no way does the Firestarter increase the amount of damage enemies take in any way. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to put up a clip of it on screen now. So yeah, there you go. You can't really, like, it's right there. The enemies don't take any extra damage. Wow. Okay, I just got blasted from behind. That's crazy. But yeah, it's kind of a shame. But Hakita has said his reasoning for why enemies don't take extra damage with the firestarter. He said that would make the firestarter less of an option and more of like, you know, you have to do this if you want to maximize your damage. Which Hakita said he didn't want to, you know, he didn't want to make the weapon feel like that. What did I die to? Huh? I think Swords Machine bullets are just like crazy accurate now. Yeah, they are! I don't know if that's like a brutal buff or like a bug change. They are crazy accurate, and the ferryman killed all three of them. I wonder if that's a buff. How am I alive? Oh my god. How am I alive? I'm not! I am, never mind. Out of here. So I don't know if that's a Swords Machine buff in Brutal, or like if they've been fixed, I don't know. Someone let me know, I'm interested. Because yeah, they definitely did not used to be so accurate. Can I hit this thing? Thank you. Out of my face. Oh, the Hideous Mess killed the Cerberus. And it killed another one. That's pretty funny. See, it's like I said, right? Like, every other room in this level, I'm completely fine, right? Like, and you take that, thank you. But yeah, every other room in this level, I am completely fine. I died once or twice in the the Mind Flare room, but other than that, I was fine, you know? Cerberus Weezer room got a huge buff. Also, just saying, I didn't realise, when I was talking about how the oil now explodes underwater, yeah, that is a very nice feature to uncover. That could potentially have a lot of use in playing the level normally and not just playing it with only the firestarter. That could have a lot of use. I'm trying to think of what else got changed. Ah, yes. The saw shotgun has been fixed. It no longer has infinite range, which is a very funny statement to have to say. You know, the gun no longer has infinite range is a very silly thing to have to say, but it is true. It no longer has infinite range, which, as I'm sure you can guess, is a good thing. It shouldn't have had infinite range, and it no longer does. So thank you, Hakita. And another thing, as I remember, is the alternate shotgun, the jackhammer, you know, the weapon that everyone's been ranting and raving over, has been nerfed quite significantly. Like, it's gotten a pretty big nerf. Its damage has been reduced. Its cooldowns have been increased. It's gotten a pretty big nerf overall, which I think is fair. It was pretty strong. I'm just gonna oil up all of Sisyphus's room. And I gotta oil up Sisyphus himself.
And die.
Oil! Take that fire damage!
You can't escape.
I bought the Knuckle Blaster equipped. Whoops.
Destroy.
Yeah, as you can see, the fire damage is... it's still nothing incredible.
You can't escape.
But, you know... it's like... it's like at least, what, like... 130% stronger than it was previously? Which is a very big buff. You can either choose to see that as a very big buff, or just the fact that it sucked previously. I'm gonna choose to look at it as a big buff. A nice big buff. I think it's interesting that I can keep Sisyphus, like, oiled up for the entire fight. That's pretty funny. It's like, it's not an easy thing to do. It takes like some timing, some all of that. I will say though, the people complaining about Sisyphus being too strong now, yeah, you're definitely overstating his new power. I mean, he's still the easiest part of Brutal. Like, he's still the easiest part of P-2. He's not that much faster. And the new bombs don't add that much. Bonk. But yeah, there's both my opinions on the small balance patch we got, and also just beating P-2 on Brutal with only the Firestarter, because it's kind of funny. I wonder if this got patched yet. No, it didn't get patched. But yeah, there we are. Weezeroom, as we've discovered, scientifically is broken. Weezeroom, very, very strong room.